Hello everybody and welcome back to Serious Sunday. I'm your host Luke, and this is the show where I talk about video games and things. And it is 2017. Happy New Year everybody. I hope that this one has been treating you well so far. It has been an interesting year for video games. Apparently a very large number of high-profile games have come out this year, despite the fact that on a personal level I have actually missed quite a few of them. It's not to say that I was letting video games just sort of fly completely under my radar this year, but just for whatever reason, I haven't been paying a lot of attention to the really big-name games that have come out this year. A lot of the time that I've been spending playing video games has been sort of devoted to things that we're doing for the channel, like playing retro games like the old Sierra classics for our Sierra Saturdays, and sticking to a couple of very concentrated multiplayer experiences that we've been enjoying for our sort of Friday afternoon fights, which is sort of an unofficial name that I give to our multiplayer Friday episodes, now that there's multiple different ones that we do. Overwatch has taken an awful lot of my year, although I have slowed down on it a little bit, but that passion for Overwatch has quickly been replaced in the last little while with Friday the 13th, which is going to definitely make this list. But despite the fact that I've missed a lot of the really big games of 2016, I thought that I would try and put a spotlight on some of the games that really stuck with me that came out this year, because I feel like there are a number that came out that really deserve it. So keep in mind that this list is primarily games that I myself played, and if there is a big game that came out this year that absolutely belongs on this list, and for whatever reason is not, it's probably because I didn't get the opportunity to play it myself and therefore don't have enough frame of reference to say that it is worth playing or not. But without any further ado, why don't we get started with my number 5, and that is XCOM 2, the strategy powerhouse franchise of XCOM. I've been a huge fan of the series ever since UFO Defense. I was one of the rare people who played and enjoyed Terror from the Deep back in the day. XCOM Apocalypse was my jam, and although I didn't play much Interceptor, I did get it on GOG at some point, and one day I will install it and play it. But XCOM 2, the most recent XCOM 2 that came out in 2016, is a fantastic continuation of the XCOM franchise. I played the living hell out of XCOM 1, and the new character customization that XCOM 2 allows you to do, as well as the much improved system of differentiating different character classes, makes it a really good jump in the right direction for the series. The only reason that this one is staying so firmly up on my number 5 slot is because I really didn't get a lot of chance to play it this year, and it's as much my own personal fault as anything else. I have a tendency to, when I play a game like XCOM, feel like I'm the kind of person that could enjoy a high difficulty level and a game set on Iron Man, and every time I do that, I end up inevitably working myself into a corner, getting into a position that I just cannot get out of, and eventually rage quitting because I basically just completely fuck myself in one of these games. And that's exactly what happened to me in XCOM 2. I played the game for a solid 4 or 5 hour stint and ended up losing most of my really good soldiers in a mission against a couple of poison spitting, coiling snake guys that ended up really messing me up, and I haven't really picked up the game since. I would love to do so. I enjoyed the hell out of it when I did, and next time I do, I'm going to play it on a normal difficulty level without the machismo of Iron Man mode, so we'll see where that goes. But yes, XCOM 2, that's my number 5. Coming in at number 4 for me is going to be Stardew Valley, another game that I was actually very surprised that I enjoyed as much as I did. This one was mostly only played by me because Matt said that it was as good as it was, and he kind of convinced me to play it on the channel with him, and I'm really glad that I did. It was a surprising game and not really in my usual wheelhouse, as I tend to be much more focused on sort of action, adventure, RPG type games, and to play something that is significantly more sort of like a Harvest Moon or a Animal Crossing. Though I can enjoy those games in general, it's not always something that I actively seek out. So I'm really glad that I gave this one an opportunity to make me love it, because it really was worth the time and effort that it took to kind of get into it. We played it on the channel briefly, and it's been a little while since we have aired any of it, and I don't know if it's going to come back immediately, but we are very much looking forward to continuing with our Stardew Valley. I've got some ideas for how we're going to sort of continue that forward, but in the meantime, I'm just going to keep that all under my hat. But regardless, Stardew Valley, fantastic game. If you need to sit down and relax for a while, this one is absolutely worth your time. Number 3 for me for this year is going to be Overwatch, another fantastic game that I would like to say sort of caught me by surprise, but at the same time, I think as soon as I saw the videos for it, I knew that it was going to be something special. I always really enjoyed the hell out of games like Team Fortress 2, and I knew that when I saw it, as long as I could get some friends that would play it with me, it was going to really rank up there for me. I enjoy myself a multiplayer game, although I have trouble sort of enjoying multiplayer games if I don't get somebody to come in and play them with me. But that said, both John and Matt really got into the game, so while we were playing it regularly, it was absolutely a blast. And thanks to Blizzard being a very attentive company and having given me an awful lot to say over the year as far as Thursday content and so on is concerned, I think that they're going to be continuing to deliver a lot of content that is going to be a delight to watch as it continues onward. So Overwatch, a ton of fun, as long as you have people to play it with. I'm not against playing with randos, and if that's something that appeals to you, then you're going to enjoy the game even more. But yeah, I loved it. It was a great game, and it continues to be, and I think it's going to just get better and better into 2017 as well. Number 2 for me may only really be number 2 because it is so fresh in my mind, but I am absolutely in love with the new Friday the 13th, the game. It hasn't officially come out yet, but it was in a closed beta only very recently, and we've already started doing some videos on it, and I love every moment that we play it. It is gruesome. It is absolutely not for children to watch or play, but god damn is it a lot of fun. If you like slasher flicks, and I grew up on them, my brother can tell you how much we were sort of always watching these when we were younger. It's part of my blood, and and there's an awful lot of blood in that game to enjoy. I know that it's not officially going to be out until 2017, so you can call this my most anticipated award, but it gets an honorary spot in 2016 because, damn it, it was supposed to be out this year, and at least it's playable now. So we'll see how it improves over time, but even with its little idiosyncrasies and problems that came with the beta, it can only stand to get better and better. My number 1 for this year is one that I haven't had the opportunity to do on the show because just the nature of the game makes it much too involved and sort of long form for me to feel comfortable trying to do it on the show, but that's RimWorld. Oh man, I love this game. Every minute playing it is a surprise and a delight. I did a video a while ago about procedural generation and sort of emergent gameplay, and this game has that in spades. It takes the colony management of Dwarf Fortress and it slams it together with a sci-fi theme while fixing an awful lot of the UI issues that plague Dwarf Fortress and make it less playable than it really should be. I haven't become as emotionally invested in a group of faceless and really honestly personality-free characters as I have with RimWorld in a very long time, and just sort of experiencing the stories that happen while playing this game. It's a new thing all unto itself, and absolutely, if you're the type of person that can enjoy a colony builder and a sim type game, then I wholeheartedly recommend that you check out RimWorld because it is fantastic front to back. Like I said, though, with the exception of possibly Overwatch, there weren't a whole lot of very large and high-profile games that I focused on personally this year, but I've always been the kind of person that sort of looks at the indie games a lot more than they look at the average AAA studio games, so maybe a lot of that comes down to personal preference, but I'll tell you what, 2016 has still been a good year for games, even if I didn't get my opportunity to play Dishonored 2, which is absolutely on my list. The new Hitman game looks fantastic, and there are any number of other very large, very high-profile games that I'm sure that I will enjoy the hell out of when I get the opportunity to do so. But in the meantime, those games that I listed, please give it a chance. Take a look if you are interested in seeing a couple more games that I feel like if you like the kind of things that we do on the show and you like what we like, then you'll absolutely like these games. So that's it for me for today. Thank you for watching through 2016. It was an awesome year, and I'm looking forward very, very excitedly to what will be going on in 2017. But until then, thank you very much for watching, and I hope that I'll see you again soon. Take care.